Hello again. Many of us thought that the Germans were raving mad when, in 2015, Chancellor Angela Merkel issued a general invitation for all refugees, asylum seekers, and economic migrants to head to their country, her so-called open door policy. The following year, over 1 million migrants entered Germany, and the country began to change. Since then, Germany has had a change of mind and instituted controls on its eastern borders with Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria and Switzerland. They realised that they made a catastrophic error of judgment. When the war between Russia and Ukraine began a couple of years ago, Germany allowed 1 million Ukrainian refugees to enter the country, and there is not the slightest possibility of those people ever returning home to their own country. They have their feet well and truly under the table in Germany. The latest figures have now been released for the number of asylum seekers who entered Germany last year, and they are chilling. No fewer than 351,915 people claimed asylum there last year, which is an increase of 50% on the previous year. That works out roughly at 1.5 million refugees in the course of 2 years in Germany. This is, of course, all of more than purely academic interest to us, because once these types have a foothold in Europe, many of them will be making their way to the beaches of Calais with a view to entering this country illegally. Europe is in effect besieged by people from Africa and Asia who want to come and live in this continent. One quite understands why, for the prospects of starving to death or being murdered or killed during a war are far lower here than they are in Syria, Afghanistan or the Congo. But there really isn't much room anymore, not without expecting our own people to go hungry or live without homes. The truth is, Britain is now full to the gunwales with refugees, and it will take a generation or two to assimilate those who have already arrived, even if the flow stopped completely tomorrow. Of course, the flow has not stopped, and is, if anything, rising sharply. The reasons are obvious, of course, and they include overpopulation in Africa, various vicious wars, and also simply the desire to live somewhere better than the third world countries where they were born. One understands, one sympathises. However, allowing everybody from Africa or Asia who wishes to enter Europe is not going to work out well for the continent. It will have the overall effect of lowering the prosperity and standard of living for those already living there. And if the process is allowed to continue unchecked, then eventually matters will stabilise at the point where the standard of living in Europe is pretty much the same as it is in Africa and Asia. This is simply a natural and inevitable process. At this point, one imagines, those in search of a better life will start making a beeline for the United States instead, or perhaps Australia.